Today I'm going to a neighbor's house for a sourdough bread class. Doesn't that sound like fun? We're all going to show up. We're gonna learn how to make sourdough bread from a lady who makes sourdough bread, and we're going to leave with starter and information on how to deal with this starter and with our own loaf that's kind of ready to bake. I don't know what the words are, but that's what I'm doing today, and I'm actually going to put on some makeup, which I don't do that often, but I'm meeting new people and I thought I might make a good first impression. So I'm going to put together a very natural spring look today, and I thought you guys might like to come along with me. Welcome in, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything beauty, fitness, and lifestyle for the over 50 woman. I'm so glad you stopped by today. It's just going to be a fun, relaxing video doing some makeup. If you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you leave, and make sure you click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you want all the good stuff, and I'm not kidding, all the good stuff, you might want to sign up for my Sunday morning email newsletter. The link is in the description box down below. It is hands down the most popular thing about my channel. Every Sunday morning I send out a very short, very sweet, very free email newsletter, and I include all the cool things I found throughout the week, whether it's a good idea or a great piece of information or a nice recipe or a super sale I think that you shouldn't miss. It all goes in the Sunday morning email newsletter. It's super easy to sign up. You just click the link in the description box down below. Super easy, super free, super fun. I think you're going to love it. As I mentioned, I'm going to put on just a really natural spring look today, nothing fancy. A few new products that I've kind of been messing around with. Not a whole lot new today, but I think that sometimes it's just fun to see how someone puts together a very natural everyday look. We're getting warmer here in Florida. We had a whole 6 or 8 weeks of winter. It was down below 70. I don't know how we manage anymore, but it's getting warmer. It's going to be about 75 today. So I'm going to go with a little bit more of a pinkish spring colors look. The first thing I'm going to start with is prepping my face. Now I've done my skincare. It's been on my face for a little more than half an hour, which I like to wait at least 30 minutes before I put on my makeup. I'm going to start with the Dermatology. This is their #1 primer. I've been using this one. I do really like it. And that's just going to go on the areas of my face that I really want to make sure I hang on to that foundation. For eyeshadow primer today, I'm using the Milani. This is a purple tube. It used to be a white tube. I'm not sure if this is a new formulation or they just changed up the color of the tube to get attention. I do like this. I'm not sure if I like it as much as the MAC Paint Pot in the color Painterly. I like the MAC Paint Pot because it covers up that discoloration on my eyes. This does it a little bit, you know, the veining and the purple stuff. This does a little bit, but not as much as the Paint Pot. But I bought it, so I thought we'd go ahead and use it. These are just the beginning steps. You guys have seen them 100 times, so there we have it. This is the Jones Road pencil. This is in the color, this is shade 2. It's lighter, and what I'm doing is I'm just knocking down the discoloration underneath my eyes, the purple circles. Kind of color correcting before I go in with my concealer. And once I have that down, I'm gonna go ahead and tap it in with my fingers. And then I'm going to use the Catrice. This is their under eye brightener. I like this a lot. And watch, it's really going to help color correct that area. It also lays down a nice foundation for your concealer. One of the products I'm going to use today that I don't know that I've used on this channel before, this is the ABH Brow Dip or Brow Stuff. They sent this to me and I thought, well, that's ridiculous. I just didn't even see the point of it. It comes with this brush that has a little, you know, angled brush on one end and then an eyebrow brush on the other. And I went ahead and I used it once when, I don't know, I was just getting ready for something. And I keep using it. And I keep using it and keep using it. So I guess I like it. First of all, the color is very nice. Let me see if I can see. It's in the color Taupe, which is good for me. But it seems to fill in the brows kind of quickly. And you know me, I like things that work really well. So I have just continued to use it. I do really like this brush. I don't know how much this is. They sent it to me, as I said, and I haven't looked it up. So if you're interested, you might want to check the price first because it is ABH. I'll have everything that I use today listed down below, so it'll be easy for you to check it out. So I'm just going to rough in my brows now, and then I always go back and do the detail work once I'm kind of done with my makeup, because when I do other things, sometimes it can disturb my brows. I'm doing a very natural look today, so I'm going to go ahead and use my Stone Cold Fox palette. I probably use this 90% of the time when I'm doing my makeup. It just is a really great palette with a lot of cool colors. Cool colors seem to work for me. Now, if you're looking at this palette, keep in mind that part of these are shimmers and part of them are matte. I rarely wear shimmers on my eyes anymore because my eyes are already crinkly and the shimmer shadows just seem to accentuate that. So if you do pick this up and you don't wear shimmer shadows, keep in mind that you're going to have colors in here you won't be using. But for me, I did find it was really worth it because I use it so much for the matte shadows. I'm going to go ahead and be using a very neutral color today right over here, again because I'm just doing a really casual, very light everyday look. I'm going to use the Angie 503 brush. I use this again almost every time I do my makeup. So I'm just going to dip my brush in there, tap off the excess, and I'm just going to start working that into the lid. And I'm going to use that shadow from the movable lid on up into the transition area because I'm just really doing a couple of things. First of all, I want to add a little bit of color to my eyelids and I want to cover up all the doodads on my eyelids. So it's really doing double duty. A little bit of a natural beige and I'm bringing it up into the transition area and then just blending it really well underneath that brow. Same thing on the other side. I like to start in this area of my eye because the most pigment is going to go where you place your brush first. Now I'm going to take that same brush and I'm going to dip it into this cream color right up here. This is so handy. I'm just going to get a little bit on my brush and I'm barely going to touch underneath the eyebrow with that color just to kind of give that eyebrow area a little lift. And that's it for the eyeshadow. You can see that it just added a little bit of emphasis to my eyelids and just enough to cover up the veining and the discolorations on my eyelids so it looks very natural. For foundation, I'm still loving the Revlon Illuminance. If you haven't tried this and you're looking around for a foundation, oh my gosh, girl, give this a whirl. I love this. This has booted out my Dior. That was my favorite, and I'm not really sure that I've used any other foundation since I started using this. I have tried a few skin tints and that sort of thing, wasn't happy with those. If you're thinking about a skin tint, get this first and just put on a really light coat. I think that it's going to work better than a lot of the high-end skin tints I've found. So this is really a good product. And I'm going to start with one pump on the back of my hand, and this is pretty much going to be about all the coverage that I'm going for today. Again, because this is just a really natural look. I'm going to start pressing that in with the BK Beauty 101 brush. This gives a slight glow to the skin, which I like. I'm always up for a glow. And just the right amount of coverage. It has never ever looked heavy on me. So if you just want to even things up a little bit, give yourself a little bit of a pretty glow, this is, in my opinion, a really good choice. And you can see that foundation has really evened out my skin tone, covered up a lot of my doodads, but it doesn't look heavy. And I have just a subtle little moisture glow on my skin. It really is a bargain. It's drugstore, it's from Revlon. You can pick it up almost anywhere. Really like this one. Confession time. I have been loving cream products on my face lately. I've used a lot of powder products in the past. I'm sure I'll use more in the future. Just use some on my eyes. But I'm really kind of more leaning towards cream everything because with my older skin, a little bit more mature skin, I'm just liking the way it works. This is the Halo Glow Beauty Wand Contour from e.l.f. I do like this. I'm not as crazy about the color as I wish I was. I wish it had a little bit more cooler tone just for me, but I do like the formula and by golly, the price is awesome. So you can see the color right there. I don't know if I would call it warm. I think I would just call it neutral, but I wish it was a little cooler tone, and I think what I need to do is go onto the e.l.f. website and see if they have a cooler tone. So these are just the areas that I want to create a little bit of shadowing in, a little bit of planes and angles. So I go ahead and place it all around my face where I'm going to be using it, and then I just start pouncing it in. This is a stipple brush. This one is from Real Techniques. I've had it for a long time. I don't even think they carry it anymore. I don't think you need an expensive stipple brush. Probably you could just pick one up, you know, at the drugstore if you don't have one. And you can see already how it's just kind of created some shape on my face without a little bit more cool tone, darker tone. I don't think it's cool, maybe neutral tone. And then underneath my chin, just to give me a little bit more of a chin line. What I didn't do today, because this is a very casual look and it's during the day, is usually I will use my Jones Road pencil. This is a different color. This is in shade 6 as a color corrector for like the veins around my eyes and the spots on my face. I'm not using this today because this can show up. You know, it can make it look a little bit heavier, have makeup sitting on your face, and because it's going to be sunshiny today and I want to make sure that everything looks really, really natural, I did not do this. But if I was going out in the evening, not so much harsh light on my face, I probably would have used this. The blush I'm going to use today is from Fenty Beauty. It is a cream blush and this is in the color Strawberry. Isn't that so pretty? I love that color for springtime. This is called Strawberry again, and I'm just going to get a little bit on my fingers and dot it on. And again, cream product. It's not going to sit on top of my face. It's going to blend in really nicely. Now keep in mind, see how that looks kind of strong? The blood underneath my skin has come to the surface because I'm tapping on my skin. So that's not going to look nearly as strong in about, I don't know, 60 seconds once that blood kind of recedes again. I just think that's really a pretty color. For a highlight today, I have pulled out this highlight. It's called Kava from Merit Beauty. Again, a cream product. I'm really kind of liking it. And it's a nice, gives me just a little bit of glow, blends in really easily, feels great on the skin, very, very moisturizing. So now that I have all those cream products worked into my skin, I'm going to go ahead and use my Hourglass Dim Light really, really lightly over the entire complexion to kind of just pull everything together. You can see it right here. I love this stuff. It is spendy when you first buy it. It lasts forever. So I'm just going to go really lightly around the complexion. And oh my gosh, you guys, what did I forget? My under eye concealer. I can't believe it. I do this all the time. When you treat your under eyes, they don't look nearly as dark. So let's go back and add just a little bit of under eye concealer right here. I do this all the time. I'm sure I've done it in videos before. So I'm just going to a little bit. See those dark purple circles right there? And this shows that, you know, you can do makeup in a different order. So I'm going to go ahead and just blend that in with my fingers. And you're going to see that it's just going to brighten up the under eyes just enough and conceal that purple stuff. Now I'm going to take my sponge and I'm just going to press that in. Voila, we have better under eyes now. So I'm going to go back into that Hourglass Dim Light and then I'm just going to lightly pounce that over my skin. I'm really liking the very natural look, just enough to give an even out skin tone, a little bit of color in the cheek area, but not too heavy. Just a quick curl of the lashes. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Gel Liner, and this is what I use to tightline. My experience with this is that in the beginning, before it dries down all the way, it does transfer a little bit to my lower lash line. You know, that waterline area right there? I think you can see it right there. But once it dries down and I clean that up, it's good for the rest of the day. What I can do is just take a little Q-tip and just go right there and clean that up, and then I'm good to go. L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Base. When I first used this, I thought it was just like silly. Now I use it every single time. If you haven't tried it, think about trying it because the difference it makes in your lashes is amazing. It really is. So I go ahead and put on a coat, a fairly good coat. And I have found that it works better for me if I let it dry down. So what I do is I put the lash base on my lashes and then I go back in with my e.l.f. brow pencil. This is in the color Oh, what is it? I'm looking. This is in the color I don't know. I can't read it or I can't see it. So I think it's like a taupe or a light blonde, and then I'll just finish out the detail work on my brows while that lash base is drying down. So I'll just go back in, and this is when I'll pull out the tip a little bit. I don't do that in the beginning because if I put my foundation on, it's going to disturb that. I love this brow pencil because it's really thin and you can just really do the detail stuff. For mascara, I'm using the Big Bad Lash from Revlon. I've been using this for a long time now and really liking it. I like the shorter mascara wand, and it's got this kind of end bristles that you can get in there and do some little detail work. I like it. I like the price too. So here's the mascara with one coat. I don't really think I need more for the daytime, so I'm just gonna leave it right there. For lips, I'm gonna be using a lip liner from Lawless and a pink lipstick from BK Beauty. Let me go ahead and put those on the back of my hand so you can see what they look like. So the Lawless lip liner is right here. That's in pink slip. And then this is Beauty from BK Beauty. Here we have the finished look. I'm pretty happy with this because I wanted my makeup to look very soft, very natural, add some color to my face, even out my complexion, and just give me a little bit more of a, I don't know, fresh look. And I think we accomplished that today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you found this fun, useful, and helpful. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I'll keep you guys posted on how it goes with my sourdough bread class. I'm really looking forward to it because if I can make delicious, nutritious, organic, non-GMO, non-pesticide ridden bread at home, I think that's a wonderful thing. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend it with me. You guys know I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. Again, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything beauty, fitness, and lifestyle for the over 50 woman. Make it a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.